Hey, what is up, YouTube? What is up, YouTube? So we got the view saying something again. I'm just gonna play the clip. I'm just gonna play the clip. I'm just gonna play the clip.
It was less about whether or not OJ did it, but he got away with it, and the police officers, you know, police officers have killed many more people.
Oh, brother.
Nowadays, $20 barely gets you a burger and fries. Acting stupidity on the situation and circumstance. And to me, it further proves my point that Americans of African descent are more racist than any other group in America.
Excuse me. But at this point, the view got to be satire. The producers making this show, they got to be using it for satire at this point. They got to be. They got to be, bro.
Now, you can say that it's justified because of what happened to black people if you want to, but the fact still remains. It is insane to me that O.J. Simpson, who many would believe killed Nicole and Homeboy, and black people knew he did it, and at the time, because he was black, they were okay that he murdered two people. And they were okay because the two people were white. And some idiot on television pretty much said the quiet thing out loud. Let me play clip 7 so you know I didn't just make this up. Clip 7.
But it was so racially charged because of what had happened just before with Rodney King, but also just how black Americans feel about policing. It's not like OJ.
Yeah, I really think it's the weave causing all these issues, especially with women. I mean, men, I think it's a weed, but women is weave. So the weave is causing these people to not think. I don't know what chemicals white people are putting in this weave that are making black women this dumb. Excuse me for my word choices, but they are speaking from a dumb point of view. And the men, they get too high, so they're probably just high speaking and recording themselves say nonsense. But let me get back to this clip.
Simpson was the leader of the civil rights movement of his era. You know, he wasn't a social justice leader, but he represented something for the black community in that moment, in that trial, particularly because there were two white people who had been killed, and the history around.
Yo, how look. How does a murderer who beat trial, like a lot of murderers have beaten trial before because evidence was insufficient to convict them. So how is a murderer a black person's hero? Like my throat always dry. Forgive me. It's like George Floyd. How is a criminal who did fentanyl and died over fentanyl black people's hero? George Floyd is a lot of black people's hero, and Jesus Christ is not. But they'll always go to church on Sunday, give offerings, do all this in church, say they believe in Jesus Christ, and they get out Monday, they act foolish again. I don't get it. I don't get it. George Floyd is in some black people's home is more of a hero than Jesus Christ, who died and saved the whole humanity. Black people are sometimes really dumb, unfortunately. Really, really dumb. I have 100%. I have a hunch that this woman smokes weed as well, and the weed is kind of laced with toxins that kind of corrupt their minds. I think that's my observation, my hypothesis. Yeah, I'm taking it back to middle school, 6th grade.
How black people have been persecuted during slavery. There were just so many layers. And I guess I would just close with this, is that there was racial tension then, there is racial tension now. It might not be the backdrop of the Trump campaign, but until this country is ready to actually have an honest conversation about the racial dynamics from our origin story till today, we will always have moments like O.J. Simpson that manifest in our country.
Yo, whoever recording from the back there should have just muted her mic and let her ramble. Maybe she has a receiver in her ear so she can hear what she's saying, but if she didn't have a receiver, she just muted it so she couldn't spew this nonsense. But I think CNN does this just to appease black people and just to make black people feel like they are wanted around that type of organization. It's like they have to meet a quota to add as many black hosts onto the show as possible, or guests onto the show as possible, and not actually want them to be on the but just to be there as a token blackie. That's all it is.
Country will always be divided if we don't actually deal with the issue of race.
I can't, ladies and gentlemen. I want to quit the radio. I just want to walk off and go to sleep. I can't stand listening to these people. Like, until we have a conversation.
Civil
What
discourse.
conversation need to be had,
Discourse.
woman? Y'all gonna say that it's been 400 years later and we still need to have a conversation about race relations? No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Unless we need to have a conversation that is over. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, bro.
I've
It's just
never in
y'all.
my life
Nobody
made
cares.
it a
Just
point
y'all.
to focus on somebody's race.
Jeez.
Not when I was a cop, not as a business.
Bro, as kids, we didn't really care about race like that, though, bro. We just wanted to go outside and go play, hoop, ding dong ditch, whatever it is. We just wanted to get outside. We didn't care about race. We hanged with Muslims. We hanged with Jewish people. We hanged with so many people, Asians, different African people, so many people we hanged out with, and Italians, and we never talked about race. But now race is everything that these people talk about. They talk about this thing every single day. Every single day. Are they not tired? Nobody cares about race. Nobody. If someone talks about race, it's just a joke. Let it go and move on. Okay, it might not be a joke, but just take it as a joke and move on. Because your life is not going to be any worse than it is, and it's going to be any better than it is if you respond to the person who's maybe trying to insult you, whatever it is the person's trying to assume about you. It doesn't matter. Just let it go. Move on. Move on. Oh.
Business owner, yeah, there's prejudice, there's bias to a certain degree, but to make it a focal
All have
point,
bias.
meaning that I'm going to give you an opportunity and not give you opportunity because of the color of your skin.
We all have bias, man. We all have bias. If I see a guy that smells like weed, has dreads, is wearing a ski mask, pants sagging, tattoos all over, has a necktie, has a face tat, I'm gonna think the guy's a gangster. I'm gonna think he's a thug, he's a street guy. So I might want to move a certain way to avoid confrontation. That I might have to take it there with him, and it could go any other way. But the thing is, when you see that person, you might want to avoid him or just keep calm so nothing happens. Situational awareness, that's what it is. It's a bias. Yes, I'm stereotyping. Yes, but you need to stereotype sometimes to protect your life. If someone is in a freaking dark alley and you're walking by that dark alley, if you look at a dark alley and be like, what the hell are you? Why are you staring at me like that? Maybe I might need to walk a little bit faster or pull out my freaking knife. Or if I have any better, my gun, pull out my gun. And if you try anything, I'm going to shoot you. That's what it is. That's what it is. You got to be aware. That's what it is.
Skin. I'm going to hang out with you or not hang out with you. I'm going to take you home and meet my parents or not. Like it's over with.
Yeah, like, would you take an OnlyFans or a sex worker to meet your parents? Probably not, unless you're really freaking stupid and you're lost in that sin, and she has that vagina has a hold on your brain. Then that might be the only reason you might take her to your parents to meet. But most of the time, you don't want to take that person to meet your parents. You just want to have your fun with that person and move on. If you're not Christians, you probably shouldn't be having fun. Shouldn't be having fun. It's in the Bible. Y'all be thinking, y'all type of Christians be thinking that being gay is good. It's not a sin. It's a sin in the Bible. Yeah, it's a freaking sin. If you don't think it's a sin, you're not Christian. That's how it is. Pick a side, boy. Like Metro said, pick a side and stay there. Either pick Satan or Jesus Christ. That's your only two options. You can't be in the middle. If you think you're going to be in the middle, you're going to Satan. That's what God said. He's going to spit you out.
Over it. Teach your kids to be over it. Everybody get over it. And then the funny thing is, my mother, I mean my sister-in-law, is Hispanic, and so we were at breakfast the other day, and she said, "What about Mexicans? It's we don't get no love because everybody just make it about black and
Black
white
and white.
people.
That's
Like,
it.
what about everybody else?
Asians,
We got other
Indians.
people that live in this country, not just black and white people. But at the end of the day, the truth still remains that people are still ignorant, in my opinion.
Someone's gonna comment in the comments and be like, "Oh, Indians are Asians. Yes, they are Asians. My fault. Indians are Asians because their country is on the continent of Asia, but everybody thinks Asian people are Chinese or like Korean or something like that. Or some people from Tokyo. Like nobody thinks Asian is actually Indian. Indian have their own different thing. Like,
Sunny Hostin, the woman that I need to give her, I need to go give her a gift card.
the gift, yeah, look, the gift that keeps on giving. Sunny Hostin. The gift that keeps on giving. The gift that we don't want. The gift that when your family member gives you a gift, to be like, okay, thank you, but you them like, damn, you really got me this again, bruh. You could do better. At least be creative. It don't gotta be expensive, but be creative. Every year, I gotta have a postcard. I gotta have some boxers, or some a tie, or some socks. Come on, do better.
Or something. She literally probably made me a lot of money on YouTube. How ridiculous her takes are. Clip 3.
Wasn't it?
You know, I think it was less about his guilt or innocence, and rather about the system and how the system treated African Americans and continues to treat African Americans in this in this country.
This woman is so annoying because she doesn't even look black. She doesn't even look black, but she always has black people's things in her mouth. She always had black people issues in her mouth. Lady, you might be black a little bit, like 1% black, but lady, you don't look black. At the most, you look like a really, really light-skinned woman with curly hair. Most black people that look like me don't have that type of hair. They don't. Your skin does not look like us. Look, dark skin. It doesn't look like us. But you always have black issues in your mind. Like every day you gotta spill this type of nonsense out. I'm blacker than you, and I never talk about this nonsense until you guys bring it up. I never talk about this. No one does. It's just these people. This light skinned people, this white people, yes, they're mixed race. They're mixed race, but you every time it's black. But you're white and black. But you're blaming your white side because your black side thinks I have to cope for my black side because I'm mixed. That's why she always does this, because she's insecure like Drake. Oh, I'm black, but I look light skinned. Yes, bro, you're mixed. You're white and black. Your dad was black, or your mother was black, and your dad was white. Or your mother was white, and your dad was black. That's all it is. That's all it is. Jeez. You don't even look black. Sunny Ocean, you don't even look black. You always got black people's mouth names in your mouth. You don't look black. You don't look black. Leave us alone. We don't even talk about our own people like this, but you want to talk about.
You have to remember, in putting it into context, the acquittal of the officers who beat Rodney King almost to death in front of the world's eyes was in 1992. This happened in 1994. And I think for the black community, it was less about whether or not OJ did it, because I think even today you'll go to, barbershops and beauty salons and people will say, he did it, but he got away with it.
Everybody in their right mind knows OJ did that freaking those two homicides. OJ did it. We all know OJ did it, bro. Like, we don't have to spin it around and try to make the man look good. He killed those two people. Yes, in the crime of passion, his girlfriend or wife was cheating on him, and he killed the both of them. That's what happened, and he got away with it because Rodney King's situation happened 2 years after that, and it was like a George Floyd thing going on again in L.A. So they were like, oh, okay, we don't want this thing to happen again. Let's let him go for 2 homicides. That could lead him to 40 years to life. Let's just let him go and let him go enjoy the rest of his life.
And the police officers, police officers have killed many more people than O.J. Simpson.
Also, they probably, I think, didn't trust that the police did not plant evidence.
Well, Mark Furman said on the witness stand, I've never used a racial slur. And by the way, people, when a lawyer in cross-examination in a courtroom says, have you ever done this? They know that you did it. Right? And so then they come up with tapes, and he's using the N-word like Christmas.
But don't you think that some of it, the reason he got away with it also is because he was famous, not just that he was black?
There were so many reasons, right?
She tried to say it was justified that O.J. Simpson killed them white people because cops had killed so many more other black people. I cannot believe these people are on the air. How could she be on television and not apologize to the family of Nicole and them when that was such an egregious statement to make? That it was just okay he murdered these people. It wasn't okay. The police did make a mistake. But stop comparing it to Rodney King. Rodney King got what he deserved. And they just did it a little too long. But him getting his head kicked, well, they ain't even kick him in the head, but him getting hit with the batons, he needed that. He deserved that. Rodney King was a criminal. That man was high on PCP, but they never tell you this stuff. When I was in the academy, they told us how he almost beat another police officer to death before he took him on a high-speed chase. They get him out of the car. The man, go watch the video. The man didn't comply one single time. He didn't comply ever. There was a point in time where they weren't even hitting him with the baton. He just still didn't listen. And why were they using a baton, Brandon, and not going hands-on? Because he was high on PCP. He was crazy. And that man is now standing in perpetuity as an example of how black people have done wrong. But he's actually standing in perpetuity to smart people as a dumb black man who had no business doing what he was doing in the first place. He would have never got hit once by nobody. But we glorify thuggery, and I don't get it. Yeah, Rodney King. Can we all just get along? You should have been getting along before you took PCP and took police officers on a high-speed chase. You should.
That's what happened in George Floyd's issue. That man put a gun to a pregnant woman's belly. Oh, he's still a king. That man was high of fentanyl and not taking care of his daughter. That man is still a freaking king. That man was casting false checks. He's still a king. Those type of black people, I don't want to get along with y'all. Y'all could write whatever hateful comments y'all want. I don't care. I don't want to get along with y'all. Y'all are dumb. Y'all is stupid. Y'all need to repent for your freaking sins so God could give you back wisdom. Because right now, Satan is giving you wisdom and it's leading you straight to hell.
Should have said we get along and you'd have pulled over instead of taking him on a high-speed chase, high on drugs. But of course he didn't. Then O.J. Simpson killed people. It's okay because white people kill people. That makes no sense whatsoever. Help me, God. George Floyd, crackhead, multiple felonies, in and out of prison, was a part of a home invasion of a Mexican woman who was pregnant at the time he allegedly put a gun to her belly. You want to go down a list? Do y'all want to go? Michael Brown. Literally, Barack Obama and his administration went to that boy's funeral. He was found guilty of trying to kill a police officer. The police officer was acquitted. He did nothing wrong. They showed up at his glorify him. Hands up, don't shoot. He's a god in the black community. Let's go down the list.
He's not my God. Jesus Christ is my God, my Lord and Savior. Not these stupid crackheads who get killed and then now black people want to make them their hero. How do you want to make someone that's a criminal your hero when Jesus Christ was sinless, blameless, and they still killed him, and that's not your hero? That person that came to die for you is not your hero. But George Floyd, Michael Brown, Rodney King, OJ, all these people are your heroes, but not Jesus Christ. Idiots.
list. Who y'all want to go? Who y'all want to go with next? Freddie Gray, career criminal. Who else? Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake had an area restriction. He wasn't even supposed to be in the city. He was an abuser.
And that goofy thug that killed a cop in Memphis, that 18-year-old stupid idiot who killed a cop in Memphis, that one too. Let's not forget about that one. That one too killed a cop, and it's still black people's hero. He probably killed a black cop because they're in the city of Memphis. Memphis is filled with majority black people, so he probably killed a black cop. And still a hero because black people think the pigs. If you feel black, the blackest of them all, you're still not one of them because you're a cop trying to make a living instead of selling drugs and having to spend your whole life in prison because you try to sell drugs instead of chase a righteous career, a better career that will not lead you to jail. Insanity.
He abused that woman. He drove over to her house to abuse her again. She called the police. He gets out with a knife and gets shot. And they on TV crying. And who's the other guy in New York? Big dude. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. I forgot his name.
Eric Garner.
Eric Garner, right? Yeah.
I think his name Eric Garner. Is that his name? It could be Eric Garner. What is Eric Garner? 47th arrest.
That's crazy.
47.
Yo, that's crazy. 47 arrest, and you're not underneath the jail cell. Lord have mercy.
The rest. I think it was 37 or 47. I think it's 47. It's been a long time. Eric Garner, 47th arrest. That man had been arrested 46 times without ever getting hurt by the police. All of a sudden, he on camera. I didn't do nothing.
I can't
You
burn.
didn't do nothing. I mean, you didn't do nothing.
Goofy.
And normally, people that don't do nothing comply.
You surrender if you don't do nothing. You're like, get me my lawyer. Hey, yo, thank y'all for watching. Make sure I hit the sub and like button. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Peace.